Hey everyone, it's Marie here again. I'm going to be making a card with some Altenew stamp sets today. And first I wanted to show you this haul that I recently ordered from Altenew. These are not new stamps, they've been around, but these are just some gorgeous stamps that I couldn't resist. So I went ahead and bought a bunch of stamp sets and some dies. I'll be using this one today. This is the Dotted Blooms die and stamp set, but I also wanted to just show you what I picked up, and you might be seeing a few of these in my upcoming videos. So I was really intrigued by these layering dies. I really want to try those out and put them together. I've also got the Dainty Bouquet stamp set, which is gorgeous, and you can layer all of these little pieces. They have them laid out and numbered for you. They also have this layering guide on the back so that you can go ahead easily layer your stamp sets together to create this beautiful cluster of flowers. And I've also picked up the flower garden set because you just need a good coloring set, and these are beautiful simple lines, lots of flowers in this set that you can stamp out and color. So I'll get to those later on in some different videos, but today, like I mentioned, I'm using this Dotted Blooms stamp set. I loved this stamp set. It's a smaller stamp set. It's got this image of these flowers on a branch. I think it's so elegant and just really beautiful. So I picked this up, and I also picked up the die that goes along with it. I don't always buy the coordinating dies, especially if the stamps and the images themselves are easy to cut out, but an image like this I do like to buy the dies with, because you have that really thin little branch, you have detailed areas inside between the branch and the flowers, and the die cuts all of those out just beautifully. So I went ahead and I bought the die for this stamp set as well. Now this is another layering stamp set. You can go ahead and stamp out the branch like I've done. I've stamped that out with some black ink, and then you go ahead and you layer on these little layering pieces over your stamped image. Now you do want to take a little bit of time to kind of get these lined up so that you get that stamped image in there, placement right. I didn't quite get it right when I stamped it out here. That large flower is a little off. But I just wanted to show you how when you layer the pieces on here and you stamp it with another color, you get just a really subtle pop of color on your stamp. It doesn't color the whole thing in, but it does put a little color, a little shading in there. Now you don't have to use these layering stamps. You can just go ahead and stamp out the branch and color it. That's absolutely an option. I'm going to go ahead and I'm stamping this out again. I thought I wanted to use the pink, but with the color scheme I had in mind, I didn't quite like the pink in this card in this instant. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp it out again, this time using a gray ink from Nuvo instead of that black. And it's not much of a difference, except for it is a little bit of a lighter color, a little bit more subtle of a color, not so bold black. And either the black or the gray would have worked in hindsight, so it doesn't matter too much. But when you see the final card, you can let me know if you thought black would have been a better color, or if you like the gray. So once you have that all stamped out, you can just go ahead and line up your die. So that's what I've done here. I've run it through my Platinum 6 die cutting machine, and I've cut out this dainty branch. And you can see here, after it's cut out, how the die really complements this stamp set really well, because you have all of those little intricate little pieces, and it's just a really fine detailed stamp set. So the die, I think, is a must for this one if you want to cut it out at all. So I have a panel here that's got 3 windows. This is leftover from a different project. I like to keep all of my scraps and all of my pieces because you can just grab them and put them together easily for a card when you're just building something. So I had this panel of 3 windows cut out. Gonna go ahead and use it for this card, and I've cut out a bunch of strips of black, gray, and green cardstock, and I'm just gonna layer them over each other on the back of this window panel. And that's just going to give me a pattern of these strips of paper to kind of make more of a modern feel of card. This is a really different card for me. I usually go soft colors, painting in my florals and everything, but I wanted to go with a little different of a twist today. So you can see I'm layering all of my cardstock pieces on the back of this window, and I really like the way it turned out. It's a little bit different. It's got more of a modern feel, and limiting all of these colors behind the 3 window panels kind of tones it down a little bit. You don't have to get lost with all of these stripes on a full card background. So I've got all of my little strips here. I did add a little glue in between each layer, and then the pieces that are hanging off the side, I'm just going to trim. This is a card front panel. It's a little bit smaller than an A2 size card, so I do have a little bit of a mat around the edge when I put it onto my card base. So I'm just going to trim off the little edges here of those stripes, and then I'm going to move on with the rest of my card. So I have my branch here. I've got actually 3 layers together. I've got the stamped layer. I cut out another layer with the die out of black cardstock, and I've kind of offset that a little bit to give it a shadow effect. And that'll help it kind of pop out against that busy striped background. And then I have one more layer of just plain white cardstock to give it a little bit more dimension and make this fine lines a little bit sturdier so they don't bend or get caught on anything when I'm putting it into a envelope. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue that on top of my stripes coming in from the left side, and I'm going to just trim off the branch that's hanging off the edge. So I'm really liking the look of this modern simple kind of feel, but I thought I needed some splatters, and I don't know, you guys tell me in the comments if you like the splatters or if you would have liked it just clean and simple. I just felt it needed a few tiny black splatters down on this left hand corner, so I took a little bit of my Aqua brush pens from Nuvo in the color black, mixed it with a little water, and I'm just splattering it on with one of my water brushes, just adding tiny little splatters down here in the corner. And I think it adds a little bit of texture and a little interest, but you probably could have gotten away with not adding splatters at all. I don't know. I like how it turned out, so I don't think it looks bad or anything, but you could go splatters or no splatters. So it's totally up to you. I'm going to mount this on a grayish color card base using some of the 2-inch wide foam adhesive from scrapbook.com. And I'm just going to pop that up on my card base here. You can see, like what I was talking about, it's got that little edge around the outside where you can see the color of the cardstock base peeking through, and I think it gives it more of a cleaner finished look. So I'm adding my sentiment here. I have the label sentiments. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember what this stamp set is called, but this is a newer one too. They have all of these black label sentiments, and I'm using hello, but they have celebrate, they have thank you, birthday, love you, all kinds of different things, and I love this set. So easy to stamp out. I am going to go ahead and stamp it 3 times with my black pigment ink to make it a really crisp black sentiment. And you can see hello there. If you get a little bit of ink into your letters, you can always take a white gel pen and kind of fix that. And then it's really easy just to go ahead and cut these out by hand. You could trim it with your straight edge trimmer, but this was so small I used a scrap of paper, and it's kind of hard to trim that scrap with your straight edge trimmer. So I'm just using my scissors, but they're straight edges. Just use the edge of the sentiment as your guide, and you can cut these out no problem. No one's going to know you didn't use your paper trimmer. So once I have that all cut out, I'm going to add it to my card using my foam adhesive and just pop that up in front of my flower. I love how the sentiment here kind of mimics the stripes that I have going on in the background. Fits in with the whole black and white theme, and I think it's really simple, really different kind of style for me, a little bit more modern, but I love the way it turned out. I'm just trying to figure out where I want this hello to go, seeing what it's gonna look like in different placements, and I settled with putting it on the right side, kind of overlapping that flower just a little bit. So that is a look at the Dotted Blooms stamp set from Altenew. I'm absolutely loving this order of things I got from Altenew, so I will link things down in the description if you're interested in checking them out. Otherwise, thanks for stopping by. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share, ring the bell, do all the things, and I'll catch you guys next time. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.